the Lord saith, paint something yellow in honor of the sun gods, because most of the gods of ancient history and mythology have all revolved around pretty much one central focus point, aka the sun itself, because the sun used to be yellow when I was a kid. Now it's a little more white because of the refraction of the light through the atmosphere. The atmosphere is different now than it was 50 years ago, but still the sun remains yellow in all of the ancient text and history books. So theoretically, Jesus was the Son of God, and the sun is what gives life to all living organisms, well, most living organisms on Earth, on the flat Earth. And without the sun, there would be no life as we know it. Maybe there'd be some sorts of life, but nothing like we understand life to be. So basically, the sun gives life to the organisms on the flat Earth. Hello, Timmy. And that's just the way it's always been. So when you paint something yellow, you're actually becoming closer to God, or godlike, or spiritual even. Yellow brings you to a higher spiritual dimension. We all know this, all of us in the with the understanding of the astral world and metaphysics. However, to initiate the uninitiated, colors have a lot to do with your personality, and what colors you like and what are your favorite colors has a lot to do with your inner spiritual being. But we're not going to get involved with that too much today. Maybe I'll leave that for another day. What I will tell you is that where I'm standing or sitting or leaning over right now is going to be pretty much where my second floor balcony is going to be located. And this is the view. This will be the view from the balcony when the hotel is real. And well, that's God itself per se, a single being in charge of everything. I doubt that very much, but a physical force that represents our godlike structure of the universe is real. And that's why they don't want you to believe. They don't want you to know. That's why they adamantly deny that the earth is flat and stationary, because it would destroy their belief or their institutions that say that this is all an accident from a big bang. But moving on, this is going to be the view from my second floor balcony. And this is where I used to live, right here. And that was the balcony right there, that balcony right there. That's the same view as I have here. Only actually I have a better view, because eventually these two trees, this one and the one on the far side, the dark green and the light green, they're going to disappear within the next year. They're going to build, I don't know, 100-room complex next door, and they're going to take that second tree out of there altogether, and that'll be a guard booth for the pool. And there's going to be a huge swimming pool right there. So from my balcony, you'll be able to see the swimming pool, a beach area, a guard booth, and then the rooms will start someplace back over here. And there's about 2 acres of land that they're going to build a big, really big resort on that side there. So I'm right in the middle. And on that side over there where you see all those trees there, just on the far side of that lot is 18 hectares of land. That's one resort that's going to be being built right on this beach out here. So there's going to be about 400 rooms which is probably not a good thing for the beach, but it'll be a good thing for business. And anybody that tells you that I'm not building a hotel, well, don't take it to heart, because they're lying to you about that. I'm not doing all of this work so I can just watch the work go to waste. And although that's what they would have you believe, because of their small-minded, incomprehensible stupidity that they keep projecting on YouTube as fact, and I am a truth sayer, and I'm the only channel that talks about, I'm the only honest channel, I'm the only person that tells you what the real facts are. That guy, those channels, those frauds, they're lying to you. I'm going to build a hotel. That's why I have all of the permits and plans in place to do so. So what I'm going to do, and now I'm preparing my cargo container to put the rebar bender on, which is something I want to talk about. I contacted 2 more companies to buy a rebar bender to put on top of that cargo container, and neither one of them have responded in the chat. Neither one of them have responded from telephone calls. Neither one of them have responded from any of the emails I sent out. So right now it's 1.5 years to buy a rebar bender, 1.5 years to buy one rebar bender from probably 14, 15, 16 different companies. I made at least 4 emails and chat messages in the last 48 hours. No one has responded in any way, shape, or form. No one has answered the phone in any way, shape, or form. No one has responded to the chat on their own websites in any way, shape, or form. It's as if this rebar bender comes from a different universe, and no one in that universe speaks Earth language. You can send them a message, please. Leave a message at my email address or text me at nothing. You get nothing back from these people. In fact, the 2 people I'm trying to get responses from, I scroll down the page and it gives you a history of whether they're responsive or not. And neither one of the companies that sell the rebar benders that I'm trying to get in touch with now are responsive to comments. And there's comments that go down pages and pages from people asking about the rebar bender. There's a trip living in the Philippines. I say it every day. I say it every day because they have phone numbers that don't work, phone numbers that they don't answer, phone numbers that they answer and then hang up the phone, phone numbers that when you call them up, they say, we cannot talk to you now, someone died. And then the next day you call up and we cannot talk to you now, someone's in the hospital. The person that died is now in the hospital. It's a miracle, I tell you. So what do we got here today? I'm gonna Jerry Cantrell, Timmy Jam, beautiful view. Thank you, Jerry. Mein Buntag, Jerry. And then Timmy Ram Jam. I see you on Barry's channel. You leave, in my estimation, my opinion, you leave way too many comments. You are way too commental. Not that you leave bad comments, but if you think I'm going to read and recite every one of your comments, you're mistaken. You might leave 100 comments on a video. So thanks for the compliment about my painting. But at this point, I'm just going to let your comments stay on the page, but I'm not going to respond to them. I will make sure I visit Bohol next time. Okay, Jerry, I would like to try the prawn farm while I'm there. Well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the prawn farm is available. It ain't easy living in the Philippines. It's hard. It's really hard, man. There's no reason to go through. You know, if I could get records from Globe to show you how many phone calls I made in the last 1.5 years, except for like 100 phone calls, they've all been to rebar bending companies. All. And we're talking about 1,000+ phone calls. 1,000 phone calls. Now, a lot of them would just go unanswered, but no less, I still dial them. And now the phone system in the Philippines is such garbage that you dial the phone number to Manila and you have to wait between 45 and 50 seconds just to see if it's going to ring or be busy. So you're talking about 1,000 minutes minimum just to find out if the phone is going to be answered. And out of those 1,000 plus phone calls, maybe 30 people answered the phone in the last year. And then those 30 people lie to you about whether or not they have the machine and that it's available. And you pay for it through their site from Lazada, and then 2 weeks later you find out that they didn't have it in stock and Lazada couldn't pick it up on the scheduled date, and then the order gets canceled and I get my money back. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I got rained out yesterday, and the wood I was painting is underneath this tarpaulin here. I was understanding. I know that I'm going to get rained out X amount of times this week, so I had the tarpaulins ready to cover up the wood. So we're going to uncover them. Okay. That's one. This is number two. Yo! Mein Buntag! Where are you going? Where? You gonna go Langoy? Libre Ligo? Libre Ligo? Okay. Okay, here's the other one. I gotta put this down. It's a little bigger than the other one. Actually, I should have just rolled it up. I don't think I'm going to get rained out today. So, let's just roll this up. Yeah, let's roll this up. I was trying to roll up two at once. That ain't gonna work. Okay, got it back up on the table. And we'll furl it back up. Okay, now, finished painting these last 4 or 5 boards. I didn't get to paint a few of them. I only want to brighten them up. I don't want to paint them and then Yesterday the rain got on a couple of them. But basically, I just want to get a light coat of paint on here to it's easier to see when I mark it with a pencil. That's number one. But more than that, it is it is also when you paint the lumber. When you paint the lumber, it doesn't let the wood soak up so much moisture, so the bugs are not looking to get inside. Well, when the wood is wet, the bugs will want to live on the wood. When it's got a coat of paint on it, the bugs will go someplace else because there's not as much moisture, number one, and number two, I guess it gives them a bad taste in their little bug mouths. Yes. So I have the paint on the hook. I'm going to go get the paint and we're going to start painting, and then I'm bringing up some yellow paint as well. I'm going to finish painting some pipes if they need to be painted. Okay, let's make sure the camera's still on because it did fall down a little bit. Okay, the camera's still on. Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of hours wasted just pushing the redial button, several hundred hours. As soon as I get these painted and I'm going to move them back onto the back of my work table here. Then I will put the pipes that need to be painted up here if I need to put them up here. I may or may not need that. All right. Now I'm just making these white to brighten them up and to keep the bugs off them. I'm not painting them for like a finished closet frame or anything like that. And the paint keeps the bugs off of them. It also raises the hair on the lumber, but it also stops a lot of splinters when you're dealing with the lumber without your gloves on. Slows down the process of getting splinters from raw wood, because the paint acts like almost like a protective coating over the wood, over the little splinters, the hair splinters, not the big ones. Hello, Janine. Good morning. Okay, so I can move some of the 2x3s to the back of the bench, and because they're done, 100% they're done. And then the ones that are not done yet, I'll continue painting. The rain messed everything up yesterday. I would have been able to finish, and now I'm restacking the lumber now twice. because I had to just throw the lumber in any position I could get it and cover it up. So now I'm part of getting stuck inside a rainstorm, yeah? That's what it is. Part of the logistics of the job itself. Okay, so I have 6 2x3s. That's one. That is, this one is going to be 2. That's 2. This one will be 3. This is cocoa lumber, coconut tree lumber, but it's old. It's not old lumber. It's from an old tree. It's not a new growth tree, which it makes it about twice as dense, and makes it about twice as heavy actually. But it's also stronger. It's got more wood per per cubic inch. It's got more fiber and wood, probably twice as strong. The trees that are 50 years old or 40 years old are probably twice as strong as the newer trees. Strength-wise, they're twice as heavy too. At least twice as heavy. Actually, if a new growth tree, 12 foot long, weighs say 15 pounds, these things weigh about 23, 24 pounds. Not twice as heavy, but twice as strong for sure. And that makes a big difference when you're making scaffolding, which is what these will eventually be used for. Okay, I got one more 2x3 right here. I think this one is fully painted. No. Okay, it's not. Hello, Nanay. May buntag. Yes? Trabajo? Yes? Yeah, baby. Okay, I'm paying. Oh. 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 Huh. Huh. 6 2x3s. Make sure we got them all in one spot. Do all the 2x3s over in the back side there, back of the bench, and then we'll put the 2x2s in the front, because the 2x2s are what I'm going to build the panel to hold all the concrete pulls out of. I'm going to use 1 sheet plywood and the 2x3s, the 2x2s bolted into the plywood, screwed into the plywood, and then put 5 or 6 inch spikes made out of 5/16 rebar. I'm going to cut about 50 pieces, and I'm going to put the pieces of rebar into the 2x2s to hold up the shovels and the rakes for the concrete work and the soil work. What do we got? We got 8 2x3s. I think we got 2 more of each. That's 8 of those. And there's number 9 right there. It's not done yet. Okay, so let's get let's put the two of the 2x2s back here. Let's get 1, 2 done. Okay, then we'll get this one, which is done, up against the back of the pile. That's 2, 1, and this one is not done. That's not done. This is an old 2x3 from last year. Actually, it's a piece of garbage at this point. It's very dry. It'll be good for a space or cribbing, but not for horizontal support. Okay, now this is one. That's a good one for to make for the panel. It's already dry. This one is heavy. That one is heavy. This would be the one for the panel. That's one. One for the panel. This one, no. This one, no. This one, yes. It's 2 for the panel. That would give me, I need 4 total, 8 footers long total. Actually, I could use 4 10 footers. No, 4 8 footers, that's 32 feet, and that's 24 feet. So I need one more. Oh, is that for me, Pasalubang? For me? For me? Okay, so I can use those. That one, those 2. These. Now I'll put back over here, and I'll find 2 more pieces downstairs. That'll make up the balance of the length, the footage that I need from downstairs. Or I'll use that 2x3. Okay. I'm going to check the comments. And then I'll check the comments in about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to put mein Buntag. I'm going to put the pipes up here that need to be, well, I'm going to put some stuff up here that's stopping me from painting the pipes. One time. Okay, here's another 4 feet, 5 feet of 2x2s. Okay, use that. That's junk. Here's another one. These are white woods, which serve no purpose in this world. That Jambalaya lumber is pure garbage. Has no strength, and the bugs eat it like it's candy. So I'll get rid of all of that. So that gives me 24 and 10 is 34. I need 32. Okay, I got enough of that. Now, if I wanted to paint the rest of the pipes yellow, and I do. The ones I missed. All right, so in about a minute, I'll check the comments. But I'm only reading comments from people I know. No longer do I read the comments. When I'm working, I keep the comments to a minimum. And if I don't know who you are, I won't read your comment at all. Don't take it personal. You want me to read your comment? Better be something intelligent. Otherwise, it's just going to get ignored. Okay. Lewis Pagan Ponds. Raining? Now? Yeah, it's coming. You have a nice day, Ian. Hello, Ted. Ted! Teddy! Teddy Roosevelt. Good morning. Okay, so no Pasaluba. No, what he walked by was he walked by with Christmas decorations. I don't do that. That Christmas decoration stuff. I don't have time, nor the wish, want, will, or desire. And then I have to store that stuff. He walked by with a bunch of Christmas decorations. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that she's probably since before I moved to the Philippines, before I moved to Florida. No more Christmas decorations. I like to watch the Christmas decorations, but to spend all that time putting that stuff up and taking it down like I used to around my house with my dad, never going to do that again. Patrick Barker had made a video with all the Christmas decorations where he lives in Kansas. You know, people spend weeks or months setting up Christmas decorations on their house. They got to nail it down, and they have hooks that are made, you know, out of brass from last year, and that's too much work. I might buy one of those laser displays that I could put on this roof and put it on that wall over there. That would be something I might be doing. But lights and wires and hooks and all that other stuff, I don't have a place for that here, nor do I want to do it. So that's out of the question. Yeah, no, there won't be. We're not going to have, you know, that's a big question about people. Who's going to be in the hotel? You really can't tell until they move into the hotel, but there's not going to be honest, Scott, like in this hotel in front of us, the Stanley House, in the 3.5 years that I was there was only one guy, two guys that got out of control. And one was, he was a janitor actually, he was Kansas. He worked as a janitor in a school in Kansas. And he came to the Philippines specifically to meet ladyboys. I didn't know that. His name was Mike. And he was unbelievable, man. He just was, he dated ladyboys like, 2 or 3 a week. And he lived on the ground floor down there on the bottom. And every day he'd have not one, but 2 ladyboys. And he was a trip, man. He weighed about 350 pounds, I'm not exaggerating. And he always had 1 or 2 ladyboys, and he did a bunch of other stuff that wasn't normal. And no one said anything. No one really cared. The landlord didn't care. If the landlord didn't care, I didn't care. But when I have guests and they start, if they were out of control, like Mike was out of control, I'd ask them to leave. It's not complicated, because I may have only been the only person in the hotel, and he might have been the 3rd or 4th person. And the other guy owned a bar, so he didn't care what Mike did, because he catered to that kind of people, that kind of mentality, but he didn't bring that home with him. That guy's name was Ken. So Ken didn't care. It wasn't any of my business. But in my hotel, no, that won't go on. That's not going to happen. And I even saw a comment last week that, that Fazio, he got a bad attitude. Just wait, we're going to go visit him when he opens up the hotel. Oh, that's cool. Come and enjoy yourself. Just make sure that you're cool about the whole thing and you can stay. Otherwise, you'll have to leave. You'll be escorted to the door. So, right now I'm going to get these pipes up. Yeah, good morning, good evening, Scott. Yeah, Lewis, it's nice to watch. It really is nice to watch. But, there's a guy I talk about that I grew up with. His name is Eddie Schweikert. Now, he's probably long dead by now. That guy, he was, we used to call him Eddie Moore, M-O-R-E. Because whatever anybody did, whatever he did, he needed more of it. and continuous 24/7. The last time I saw him, going back to 1991, it was in New York City. It was in the Charles Park, and he was hiding behind a tree. I saw him from the other end of the park. Apparently he knew that it was me walking around the park with my girlfriend Lisa. And he was hiding behind the tree. And when I got up to him, he thought he was going to surprise me, but I surprised him. And then I realized who it was. And I says, Eddie, what are you doing stupid stuff like this for? I didn't even recognize him. He was about 5'10" or 11, but he didn't weigh much more than 100 pounds. He was into some weird stuff. So, we won't be tolerating anything like that. But his father, how I got on the subject, his father had one of the most decorated house for that size house anywhere in the world, maybe. His father spent months, hundreds of thousands of lights when you added them all up. Half the garage was full of stuff, and then he had a warehouse. He had sleds and Santa Clauses and reindeers and lights and boxes that looked like presents. I mean, his father would start in October putting up the decorations. And he did it all himself. His father was a fireman, so he was good on ladders. He had the roof done, the chimney done, and the whole front of the house and the railings and everything. He was a trip, man. He spent months doing that. It looked beautiful. I wish I had a picture of that. That was really nice. All right, so I'm going back to work now. I'm going to get some of these pipes that I didn't get properly. There's just a little bit on the ends over there. Then I'm going to take these boards downstairs and cut these up from my plywood and start screwing them to the back of a sheet of plywood for my to hang my ladders and stuff on. Actually, I could get these pipes done and then drill the holes in this while I'm up here, while it's breezy. I'll go get one of the Milwaukee half-inch hole shooter drills. I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll do the drilling up here, because I have about 150 holes to drill in this wood, so I'll have options of where to put the pegs. So let me get this yellow done. I'll make God happy. And then I'll go get the drill. Okay, so I'm done with this. Am I done with this? You know what I could do? I could paint these two pieces of, I'm going to paint these two pieces of bamboo here, right behind me. Those two bamboos. And because I'm going to use those to go over the top of the pipes and put tarpaulins over the top of the pipes for shade on cargo can 1. So I'll get a coat of paint on now so that it's a little more water resistant. Okay, that's done. This one will be done. Alright, now when I put the tarpaulin over it, it won't be so susceptible to water rotting, dry rot or wet rot. Okay. I'm gonna have to throw this. Stairs. And I go down. My shoelace is untied. Not good. Shoelace untied, not good. Tie shoelace. Don't trip. Huh. I have an idea. I have an idea. I won't use the new plywood for the shovel rack. I'll have a sheet over here, which is pretty much not so good anymore, but it'll be perfect for that. That means that I got to get this camera over to the end of the platform here. And then get that sheet of plywood out of there. I was going to just use that for a... need it for that. It's really a piece of garbage. It's not, it doesn't have a lot of life left to it. So let me get it out of there altogether. No trolls today, no trolls. Trolls, go home. Go away. No more trolls on my channel. Believe what you want. It's just not going to happen. Huh. Huh. Oh. Actually, here's 16 feet of junk 2x2 made out of white lumber. So I just saved myself 2 cocoa lumber pieces once I get this apart. That worked out well. Ah! Beautiful thing. There's the paint I was looking for the other day. Ah! 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 And this is a definite piece of garbage. Ah! No, that ain't gonna work. Ah! 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 right where I want it. Almost right where I want it. See what we got here. I wonder if I should try to bring it up to the front here, or just drill out the boards and put the boards on it later, because it's just going to make it 30 pounds heavier. Okay. I think I'll just drop that sheet down to the bottom floor, and then that's already painted, so I don't have to do much with it. And then I'll put the 2x2s on it. I got to clean them up here, drill the holes up here, and then I'll just put it together downstairs. But first I got to drop this downstairs, and literally when I say drop it downstairs, I mean drop it downstairs. It's actually too heavy to hold, and it's just cumbersome, so it's going to get dropped. And it's about ready to get dropped. Beautiful. A beautiful thing it is. Okay. That pipe, why do I have that pipe? That pipe is just a thicker pipe, okay. Thick wall, thin wall, yellow, not yellow. And oh, that's all painted already. I don't have anything really to paint, nothing. Okay, that's painted enough. Okay, so the next thing to do is I'll read the comments from my friends only. And then I'm going to go downstairs and get the hammer, a pry bar, the drill, a bit, and the electric. So I'm going to be gone. When I go downstairs, I'm going to be gone for 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. And I got to get a bunch of tools. The spiritual proper. Hey, Guapo. You're gonna put Christmas decorations over there? Very nice. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, well, you know, you kind of get a feel of what you can do. You have to know what man has got to know his limitations. And I knew I would never be able to. That sheet of plywood is marine. It's exterior plywood. It probably goes back into the 1990s when I bought my house. It was a sheet of plywood I used for a bench, so it's definitely 20 years old. But it's kind of waterlogged in some places of the plywood, So it doesn't weigh, originally a sheet of exterior plywood weighs 3/4 inch, weighed 64 pounds. But that sheet of plywood was part of a shelf system I had in my bedroom. So it had several layers of paint on it, which brought it up to 75 pounds. Literally there was a lot of paint on it, many different. It had been painted 3 or 4 times before I used it for my powder blue in my bedroom. So that sheet weighs about, and now it's got water in it from the rain, probably weighs 85 pounds. So 85 pounds is just too much for me to hold with and drop down slowly over the railing. And I don't care what happens to the end of the plywood. So it was a controlled drop. Evil demonic force. That's true, because he is into that black magic stuff and the price that he will pay for his satanic worship. You know, there's an interesting article. I'm going to post it with in my community post this week about John Podesta, Trump, Epstein, Grisling, that lady Grisling, and the pretty much the politicians that are into pedophilia, and basically they are worshipers of Satan, and how the satanic worship that was connected with John Podesta and the Pizzagate, how the satanic worship led somebody to write a book about the connection between the worship of Satan, satanic worshiping practices, and how pedophilia is connected. I forgot the name of the book. It's a pretty popular book. And I'm going to post the link, how there's a connection between pedophilia, satanic and black magic, satanic worship and black magic. And it all is in a book with John Podesta's name on it, but it also goes into the political figures that backed him up. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Trump. Trump is as evil as any politician that ever existed. Remember, Trump said it's a one-time only vaccination program, and the word program means multiple. It doesn't mean singular. Program is a multiple amount of things, whatever it is. It could be a Disneyland program where you're going to see several different Disneyland characters, but Trump said it was a one-time only program, and it is. It's one time for the rest of everybody's life. That's the program. But when he said it was one time, it was misleading, which makes me absolutely sure that everything I said last year and a year and a half ago about Trump shutting down the economy and the world economy, I was right. Everybody else that stuck up for Trump was wrong. He knew what was happening long before he shut down the economy of the world. Yeah, endochrome here and there. They all do. I believe that. There is no way. No. There's no way. Once you make that deal with the devil, you have to pay the price. Right now, you guys are going to get to watch the ocean while I go downstairs. Remember, this will be the view from the second floor of the hotel. And that's the view that you're looking at now. It's not a fake view. It's not CGI. It's not animated. It's real, baby. It's real. Okay, so I need a wonder bar, a hammer, the drill, and a bit. And that's going to take about 5 minutes to go get once I go down steps. So let me get rid of this because I don't need this in the way here. Wunderbar, and hammer. Wunderbar and hammer. I need to put this paint. I think I'm done with this paint. Yeah, Christian. Mein Buntag. I'll bring up some nails. Oh, I think that's the piece I need right there. Yeah, it is. Huh. I had a piece. Let's see what we got to do here. You know what I got to do here? I got to get rid of this. Okay, I got to move some pipe. Move some pipe. You can watch. You can watch. We have a pipe moving ceremony. I think. Okay, yep. I gotta move this pipe off my ramp. I ordered my metal miter to cut all this pipe. We'll see. That's only 3 more days. 2 more days, maybe. I don't know exactly what today's date is. Okay. Time to go get the drill and time to go get the drill, the hammer, the drill bit, and the pry bar. Everybody's getting ready for Christmas. They don't have those problems. About 5 minutes, or maybe 7, and I'll be back. Okay, so what I did was I posted the link regarding pedophilia and satanic rituals and black magic in the comments section for those of you who are interested to see how black magic and or rituals, Satanism and pedophilia are connected. That's one of the most popular books on the subject, and it shows you the politicians in America, how many of the politicians are into satanic worship, and how it segues how their satanic, how the worship of Satan and their satanic rituals, which is basically black magic, how it's connected. And also, you should understand that they covered up the John Podesta Pedogate, Pizzagate. They covered that up big time. Big time they covered that up, because there were so many American politicians involved with that if they all went to jail because they were covering up for crimes that they knew existed from their friends in politics, or they were involved in crimes themselves. There were so many of the Congress and senators and judges and politicians in America that knew about John Podesta and Pizzagate and the Clintons and their satanic rituals, that if they, let's say they were all just proven guilty by some superior force, if they were guilty, right? Like, and somehow God knew if they were guilty or not, right? And God said, okay, every senator and every politician and every judge that knew about John Podesta and his pedophilia ring and the Clinton connection and the Epstein connection, everybody that was connected with anything satanic and rituals and children sacrifice and all that, they all are no longer in Congress, the Senate, or judges, or whatever. No more. The American government would shut down. And proof of that is that in Mayan Buntag, say hello. Proof of that is the same thing happened in the British Parliament, that almost the entire Parliament of Great Britain was connected with a pedophilia ring. And it started to like expand, and it expanded so fast that they realized that the entire, whatever they have in England, the entire governing community was all either knew about pedophilia in the government or was involved in pedophilia in the government. And it was getting to the point where now it became public knowledge, and in like 48 hours they shut it down. No articles, no newspapers, no TV programs, no documentaries, nothing. They just shut it down. They just shut it down because so many politicians were involved in England with pedophilia that the entire, whatever they call it, the Parliament would have been shut down. If it would have continued, there wouldn't be anybody to prosecute anybody because they all knew about it or were involved with it. That's how bad it is, and it's not much different in America. So, let's see what we got here as far as comments. Okay, so let me go back past. Yeah, I actually, Scott, I got to get in the water, to be honest with you. I'm going to see what happens when I go in. You know, I soak my leg every day for about 35 or 40 minutes. And it's to the point now where actually you know, like from what it was to what it is, it's much better. I'm actually going to try to go in the water over the holidays, over the Christmas holidays. We'll see what happens. I might do it before that, but I'm not going to take much time off before the holidays. In fact, I would have went. It didn't rain today, so I stayed home to work. So I'm going to try to get 6 hours in, 7 hours in every day between now and the Christmas week. And then Christmas week, I'm going to take a couple of days off where I just relax. And I think I'm going to go in the water. Even because for me, Christmas, my whole life, I tried to spend Christmas in the ocean somewhere. If I lived in New York, I would try to go on vacation to the Bahamas or Bermuda or Florida, the Florida Keys. And when I lived here, I always went in the water on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, but not last year. But this year, I'm going to try to get in the water. It is hard looking at the water and not going in. You're right about that. And I'm going to go in the water over the holidays, and I'm going to go in there. I'll go in for half an hour at first, and then I'll try to see. Who knows? It might heal up the leg even faster. I don't know. But I have to go on an incoming tide when there's no bacteria coming back out of the city. So, evil demonic force says his soul was pretty unique. Usually the sellers offer a slightly used, somewhat more evil than usual soul. But this guy, holy crap, his twisted soul was already frightening to begin with. It was. I've been saying it for years. The man his base quality is a black heart. Okay, so I brought up a hammer. I brought up the 110 volts for the Milwaukee hole shooter drill. I brought up a drill bit. I brought up a piece of rebar to show you how and why I'm going to do what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is clean up these 2x2s. Instead of using new 2x2s, I'm going to use these used 2x2s. So that's the first thing you're going to see get done. And we're going to go. We're going to go now. Oh, I got to go get the... I got to get the bucket with all the stuff in it, the tools. Okay, so let me show you what I brought up and why, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. So One thing I brought up is this 1980 Milwaukee half-inch hole shooter drill with the quick lock cord. It's got a quick lock cord on the back of it. It's got a cannon plug, triangular cannon plug, and it's called a quick lock because you just turn it a quarter turn and it locks, turn it a quarter turn, unlocks, and you could use this in a sawzall, the hole shooter drill, and also the industrial grade screw gun. Now this has a speed of 750 RPM. It's a low speed, high gear ratio, high power. And then I brought up a drill bit that should allow me to put this size rebar into this wood. But we'll test that right now before I start pulling the wood apart. Not that it matters. The wood is coming apart. And if that one doesn't fit, this one will. So, let's get the electric plugged in here to the hole shooter. Plug in the drill bit into the hole shooter. And I keep my chuck key back about 2 feet from the quick lock side of the plug. And when you tighten up a drill bit, you want to do 3 things. You want to put it in 1/3 of the shaft. 1/3 to 1/2. That allows it to be flexible. You want to tighten up all 3 chucks. All 3 dogs on the chuck. All 3. Not 2. Not 1. And then that pretty much assures you that you won't have, it won't slip out. Let's just try this. See if we got the right size, and we did, because these, I want to put these in tight, so that goes in nice and tight like that. And then this is what the shovels will hang on. The shovels, the garden rakes, the concrete rakes, and the concrete cones. So let's get this lumber cleaned up, and I'll start drilling holes for the metal rebar. Now I don't have the pieces cut for the shovels yet. I'm going to cut pieces about this long, about 10 inches long, and then I'll be able to put 2 or 3 shovels and 2 rakes on each piece, and they're going to go. And then these boards are going to get screwed into a sheet of plywood. Plywood will be back here, and the pins will be out here. So the pins will be like on a 20-degree angle like that, and you'll be able to hang your shovels and the rakes on there. I got to basically build a shop in order to do the job, so that I don't have to keep going through piles of tools. It makes it easier to do it my way than to be looking for put a tool down on the floor, put another shovel on top of that, put a come along on top of that. It you hang everything from shelves or brackets, it makes the job a lot faster. think I'll leave this one intact because this is the one I got to pick up the wires, the electrical wires with. And I'll just connect that board to the pipe, the vertical pipe somehow. Not somehow, I know how to do it, but I will do it like that. Okay, so this one here goes here. This is garbage. Garbage. This one goes here. We have these things here in the Philippines. We have them in America too. They're wood boring. They're wood boring bugs. See this? See these holes here? How big they are? Like a 1/2 inch in diameter. Those holes right there. That's not rot and it's not termites. It's some kind of wood boring. It looks like a giant bumblebee. But it can literally make a hole through this piece of wood. If it wanted to go right through it, in 15 minutes, something that looks like a bee could drill a hole right through this lumber. And what they do is, when they hibernate, they drill a hole into a piece of wood, and the hole's usually about 3 inches long. Well, this was a nest of them. And then they hibernate for a certain amount of time, and I guess they do what they got to do. When they're done doing that, the wood has got giant holes in it. It destroyed one of the pieces of wood that I brought from America. Just one out of 6. Only one of them got bugs in it, and only for 1 foot of one little section. So not a big deal, but it did happen. All right, I'm going to check the comments in a minute, and then I will start drilling these holes. I have about 32 feet of lumber, and I'm going to drill a hole every 4 inches. So that's 4 times 32. I have about 120 holes to drill. Make sure I have enough wood before I start. Alright, so I got an 8-foot piece here. That's 8. This is 8. That's 16. That's 24. And 5 is 29. That's 32 feet. That's enough. 29. Okay, that'll be enough for me. I'll check the comments and then I'm going to start drilling holes. care about it that much to want to work that hard to get that piece. It's buried. No, I don't care about that. Okay, so check the comments, start drilling holes. 120 holes, or thereabouts. Spitting cobras, bumblebees that eat holes in lumber in minutes, lizards and poison sea snakes and scorpions. Sounds like a great place. Well, oh no. We'll find out in another year or so. Oh man. We got to tape that together. I must have broke that when I brought it up today. I remember smacking it on the side of the ladder. Okay, 120 holes. Let's go. Do have it is a kind of place. Well, you know, I don't remember seeing any scorpions here. I know there are scorpions in the Philippines. I don't remember seeing any, but I know they're here. But we definitely have sea snakes, and the cobras, they're probably within 100 feet. There's one, but you don't see them. 1, 2, 3, that's 24, 32. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, this one, and this one. And I don't need this one. One I don't need. I don't need that. I don't need this. That. I need this over here. That's going over there. This, and this. I need to build a shelf out of that. Right there. Okay. 120 holes. Let's go. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while. I'm gonna go deaf. Again, I need a piece of tissue paper or a rag. You know what I gotta do? I gotta fix the step Let me fix the step first, so if I have to go down there, at least I have a step. Half the step. Where's the other half? Huh. I had it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Huh. Oh, it's down there by the step itself. Okay. Okay, I found some tissue paper for my ears. Now I want to go back and drill the holes. That step, it only had to last like one more month because I'm going to be taking that ramp out of there when I move the cargo container. It could have lasted another 4 weeks. Uh-oh. This stuff is real garbage that I just put on here. It's very old plywood. I'm going to have to put the stress of my weight. I duressed it under the duress of the weight of the fascia. Oh, talking about the weight of the fascia. I didn't go to the buffet today because the sun came out. Normally I go to the buffet when it rains, but the sun came out at 8 o'clock this morning, so I couldn't go. Okay, let's get that drill going. Put some earplugs in the ears. Uh, 120 holes. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to take at least an hour and a half. Huh, the bumblebees. Yeah, no, you can hear them chewing out the lumber, Scott. You could actually, you'll be sitting down like next to a tree and you hear and they're literally throwing the lumber out of the hole. It's literally lumber too. It's pieces of lumber. They're a trip, man. They're very powerful little creatures. And they're not much bigger than a giant bumblebee. Okay, that's one hole. Now some holes are going to be a lot easier than others. Because some of the wood is very soft and dry, and some of it is not. So it depends on the density and the dryness of the wood, of how long it will take to drill each hole. On a side note, if I was drilling these holes with a Makita 1/2-inch drill that I bought yesterday in the store, let's say I bought a 1/2-inch Makita hole drill yesterday. If I drilled that many holes with even a brand new Makita, the motor would be melting right now. And with the Milwaukee, not even warm. That's how much better this tool is. Even though it's literally 41 years old, this drill, it's still better than a brand new Makita. I was going to drill a hole every 4 inches, but now I decided to drill a hole every 2.5 inches, so I have more accessibility to do different things. Nope, didn't get hot yet. When I'm done with this board, I'm going to take a 5-minute break to rest my arm, hands, my fingers. Okay, so that's 8 feet. I got 24 more feet to do. I'm gonna take a break, rest my forearm. It's getting tight. This part over here. Okay, I don't think all the boards are going to be that hard. And that drill bit's pretty sharp, actually. Just the wood is pretty hard also. I could try this drill bit. I don't think it's any sharper. They're pretty much the same size. The new one is slightly bigger, which won't matter. Okay, I want to test one hole and then I'm going to check the messages. I don't need to do, that's an 8-foot board, it's an 8-foot. That'll work. Okay, that one's a little sharper, a little bigger. It will require less, these pins will go in and out of the hole that much easier. So I'm going to use the bigger drill bit. So I'm going to take a break for 5 minutes. I'm going to sit down and then I'll read the comments, and then the next board should be easier. That drill bit's a little bigger, but it's a little sharper. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so for those of you who just came in, I'm going to drill 32 feet of 2x2 with a hole every 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 inch. And then I'll be taking a piece of rebar that looks like this and putting it in the hole every 2 1/2 inches. Not every hole though. And the reason I'm going to cut like 10-inch pieces of this rebar, this number 3 rebar, and then when I want to hang up a shovel, if it has a D handle on it, I put 2 bars in 2 holes 2 1/2 inches apart. And then if I want to hang up the concrete rake, I put 2 bars in holes that are 8 or 10 inches apart. And then if I want to hang up a spade shovel, I put 2 bars in 2 holes that are 4 inches apart. So the reason I'm drilling all of these holes is because if I hang up a rake on the top 2x2, which is where it will go, and then I hang up another set of rakes next to it, like I hang up yard rake next to the concrete rakes next to the combs, the concrete combs. Well, in between, the next layer down, I have hole options to hang up square shovels or round shovels with a D handle on it, or an axe. I have 4 axes 2 sledgehammers, 1 adze, 1 pickaxe, 2 hatchets, and multiple other tools for concrete, dirt, and yard work. Well, I have them now. I have them hanging up on hooks in cargo container number 1. But in cargo container 2, there are more. The hoe, I have two concrete hoes, 2. I have 2 of everything. 2 shovels, 2 spade shovels with a D handle, 2 square shovels with a D handle, 2 long spades with no handle, and 2 long square shovels with no handles. I only brought 2 of everything. I left 1 of each in my house in New York, and then I sold the rest. I had 6 and 7 pieces of almost every item when I used to have a crew, but I don't have a crew anymore. I don't even have a backhoe anymore. I'm backhoeless. I don't have a bobcat anymore. I don't have a crane. I really miss my crane. I gotta tell you, out of all the tools I ever owned, I think I missed the crane the most. The crane was the most fun. I mean, first of all, when you were in the crane, you were working on the ocean, so that was beautiful. And the second thing is, you got to pick up stuff that was like 60, 30, 25, 50 feet long that weighed 1, 2, 3, 5 tons. And then put a 6-ton hammer on it and smash it down into the earth. Or you just got to pull out poles that were in the ground for 150 years. Literally, in the mud, 150-year-old docks I used to pull apart. And you were always working on the water. So you were on the water working. It's a beautiful thing, working on the water. With a crane barge. Then you got to move the barge. I miss my bobcat too. And my drill. I had a drill I used to drill holes with. I had a trenching machine. I missed that a little bit. Not so much though. The trenching machine, I only had a small trenching machine. That was brutal. 4 hours with the trenching machine and brutalized you. Because it was self-propelled, but you had to manhandle it a lot. You know, after lunch, you were done with the trenching machine. I had 3 different trenching machines, actually. I had forgot the names of them because I painted over them right away, but I had a couple of name brand trenching machines. One with a 5-foot boom on it, one with a 3-foot boom, and one just like a 18-inch to do coral rock. I didn't like doing that at all. As soon as I bought my backhoe, I got rid of that little one. I didn't need that anymore. I didn't do electrical pipe with for electricians. There's no money in that. Once I bought the backhoe, I didn't really do much trenching. Okay, so it's let's see, Flying Circus. Hey, Flying Circus. Flying Circus. You put out a video the other day that made me laugh. You put out a lot of videos that make me laugh. You know, maybe one day I could call you up on the phone and we'll talk. Because I got something I want to tell you, but I didn't want to put it in an email. Oh, I don't care about putting it in an email, but, you know, we've been friends for a long time, but I want to share how I'm going to discredit somebody's lies and false statements. But I'd like to hear your reaction and see what you think. Because I see he's such a sweetheart. Just makes you want to hug him. And I know you feel the same way. But I see what he's been putting, the garbage that he puts up on his channel to discredit my word as a man and as a blogger, and what really happened. He takes snippets of videos and he makes you look like something that you're not. Yeah, you just want to reach out and touch him. So, that's what he does. That's what he always does. He's trying to piss me off. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get me upset. I know that. And especially now that I know for a fact he has nothing that he can bring and get me in trouble with it. Nothing at all. There's nothing that he's ever shown me or I've ever said on YouTube that I'm worried about. Certainly not with the NBI or cyber crimes, that's for sure. Maybe civilly, if he wants. He babbles stuff off. No, the prawn farmers has come and gone, my friend. It's the prawn farmers from 10 to 2. I would have went today. We were supposed to have the typhoon today. Apparently, the weathermen said the typhoon was coming today at 9 o'clock in the morning, and apparently and today all day, all night, and all day tomorrow, Monday. And look at it, it's gorgeous out. Somebody canceled a monsoon or a typhoon, whatever it is. Justin, no monsoon today?
Huh?
Where's the monsoon?
Today, man?
Today, where is it? No?
No.
What did you do? You made it go away?
No, go home na.
Oh, yeah?
I go and have work. Here.
Okay. Where's your motorcycle?
Here.
Okay.
In the store.
See you later.
See you later, Michael.
Yeah, they canceled torrential downpour. They canceled 18 kilometer per hour winds. It's beautiful out. It's like the perfect day. Yeah, the weathermen here, they're not so good. No, Jerry, I'm not going to the prawn farm. In fact, I won't be able to go to the... Ow! Oh! I won't be able to go to the prawn farm again until Friday. Today's Sunday, huh? Yeah, I won't be able to go again until Friday. Depends on the weather. From now on, if the weather is nice, I'm not going to stop working to go to the prawn farm. But if it's going to rain on either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, like it did Friday that just passed, then I'll go to the prawn farm. See you later, Justin. Unless the weather is bad, I won't be going. All right, I'm getting ready to go back to work now. I don't know that I'm going to finish this today. I started at 10, and it's showing me that we're at 3 hours. So that's 11, 12, it's 1 o'clock. I'm not real sure I'm going to get all of this done. Whoa. My fingers, I'm getting a knot in my forearm. Oh. Yeah, doing a couple of them left-handed definitely eased up the pressure on my right hand. Okay, gonna rest my forearms for a little bit. I'll check the comments. And then I'll do another board. The next two are very hard wood, so it might be easier to drill than these two. First two. Oh, my forearms. I haven't used those muscles so much. Yeah, I was talking about the black magic. I was talking about a book that I'm going to get. Well, I was thinking about getting it. It's about John Podesta and Pizzagate and Maxine Griswold and Epstein and Trump and how they're all involved with. Well, Trump knew about Epstein for sure. There's no doubt about that. And Clintons flew on his plane as well, so they knew about the pedophilia. But how there was also satanic rituals and black magic where witchcraft was performed, witchcraft-like ceremonies. So the book that I posted the links for is about Satanism, pedophilia, and black magic, how it's all connected. So if you know somebody that's involved with black magic, it doesn't mean that they're a pedophile, but it means that it could be a possibility. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the Clintons, the Podestas, there's no doubt John Podesta was involved with satanic rituals. And there's no doubt he was involved with pedophilia. And there's no doubt that the pizzeria, Pizzagate, was all about pedophilia and satanic rituals. So they're all connected, but not pedophile. But it shows you the connection in politics, how the politicians, the Congress and the Senate, and the most powerful people in America and in Britain are into this black magic, satanic ritual, and the endocrine, the drinking of the blood from people that are in great fear, the adrenaline that goes through like a child's body, and then they take the blood out when the child is at the most fearful state. And it was I read a synopsis about it. It's in the link, but there's other articles about it on the internet. It was pretty interesting. How they covered up hundreds of people in our government in Washington, D.C., hundreds of Congress, Senate. They may not have actually done pedophile things, but they knew about the people that were doing the pedophile stuff, including Trump. He knew all about John Podesta. He knew about what the Clinton, and he even used that to get elected. He goes, "Oh, you're going to end up in jail." But he never did anything to Clinton. He never took her to court. He never took her to court. He never filed charges against her for lying, for stealing money. He never did any of those things because they're all bad. Well, they're all the same. They're all criminals. We have a country that's being run by criminals. There's no doubt about that. It's just that one aspect of the criminal empire, the satanic rituals and the pedophilia, it just happens to be so blatant in our Congress and Senate that once the ball got rolling with looking who was involved with Podesta and Epstein, they shut it down. They shut the investigation down, basically. They don't want it. They didn't want it. They could have gotten hundreds of more people that were involved with Pizzagate and Podesta, but they didn't. They shut it down. And Trump shut it down, to be more specific, because he knew all about it. And eventually it would lead back to him. But if you read about that, I've known about this for years, but if you read about satanic rituals, basically, there's a saying by Satanists. It's a very simple saying. Do as thou wilt. It means you could do anything you want with no repercussions. Nothing. No repercussions at all. You can do whatever it is that you want, and there's no. It eliminates right and wrong in a Satanist mind. Moral and non-moral acts no longer mean anything. Anybody that performs satanic rituals and or rituals in black magic, they have no moral turpitude at all. They just do whatever they want to do. Now, it may be against the law, and they may get caught doing it, and they may be punished for it, but they themselves don't think it's wrong. You have to look at what the kind of stuff that he says. Do normal people say that kind of stuff? Do normal, everyday citizens in the world say that kind of stuff about other people's wives and girlfriends? There's something different about him, yeah? Definitely something very different. And, but I mean, based on the kind of stuff that he says, he's something wrong, in my opinion. There's definitely something wrong. Okay, so I'm going back to work now. And I asked you once for your telephone number, Jerry. You didn't give it to me. I don't know that I would ask you again, but certain things would be better left said on the phone rather than on text or comment section. Probably I won't ask you again. I asked you now twice. Won't happen 3 times. Ugh. Well, that's 160 plus holes in about an hour and a half, about 90 minutes, so about 45 seconds a hole. I'm done for the day with working. I won't be doing any more physical work for the day. My hands are tired, and even though I am not tired, it's only just so much physical exertion I want to do during the course of any one day. And I did that already today. I made a nice pile of sawdust though, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm done with this part of the job. I'll throw these boards down to get ready to build the a lot of sawdust I made. About 3 inches of sawdust. I wish I had something to do with it, but I don't. Oh, yeah. My arms, my forearms are tired. Not hurting, but tired. Okay. Okay, so an hour and 41 minutes to do, that's 90 minutes. And then 341 from 2 o'clock to 60 and 40 is 100 minutes. 100 minutes to do 160 holes, about 45 seconds per hole. And I wasn't rushing it. You know, when I get set up here, I have a drill press, a commercial grade drill press, but I don't have it up here on the roof. I could have did these holes in half the time, but then it would have took 2 hours to set the drill press up on the roof, and I only need it for that one job. So that would be the proper way to do it, with a drill press and a guide, so that every hole is perfectly lined up. But they're pretty lined up. They're pretty good. Those holes are, for what I need them for, they're all within 1/8 of an inch along the length of the board. And for what I need them for, to hang up ladders, shovels and rakes and hoes and axes and adze and stuff like that, they'll work just fine. Okay. Actually made me sweat. Haven't sweat in a while. The sweat was not a lot, just a little bit. But hey, mein hapon. Salamat. That's a couple of the local ladies. Apparently more people know me than I know them. I know their face. I know that they're locals, but I don't know their names. Everybody knows my name. Everybody. I'm in the city and somebody walks up. Somebody walks up to me and says, "Hey, Michael." I have no idea who they are. I gotta tell you, I have no idea who half these people are that say hello to me. Because, well, first of all, I don't see that well. And second of all, I am the outcast, not the outcast, but the odd-looking person here. You know, I've said it before. I could go into the vegetable market. I'm the only white man in the vegetable market. There's not like it's not like there are Germans or Arabs or Yugoslavians or Russians. There's nobody. It's just me. I'm the only white man in the whole building. 99% of every time I go in that building, I'm the only person in the whole building. And there's over 1,000 people in there. Hands down, there's 1,000 people. You know, I probably should buy a load and blog the vegetable market, live stream it. Now that I have a phone that would do that, I think I'll do that over the Christmas holidays. I'm going to buy a load for a week and blog the city. I think I'll just blog the whole city of Tagbilaran, wherever I go, and live stream it though. I won't buy a gimbal or anything like that. I can hold the camera steady as a gimbal, but everywhere I go, people, Michael, and I turn around and I wave to them. So number one, I can't see them if they're more than 5 or 6 feet away. Their faces are blurry, not blurry, but not distinguishable. Number two, I don't know who half of them are anyway. They may know me, but we've never met. They just know my name and they want to say hello. And number three, everybody has a mask on. How do you recognize somebody with a mask on? That's why that's the reason that people used to wear masks, so that you couldn't recognize them. So half the people that do know me, that maybe I would know by face, I don't know who they are because they have a mask on, but they know me. I wonder what time. So if it's 4 hours and I started at 10 o'clock this morning, then it should be 2 o'clock. So if it's 2 o'clock, by the time I get this place cleaned up and the tools and stuff off the roof, it'll be 2:30. I need to take a bath. That'll be 3 o'clock. It's Sunday. I don't have anything downstairs to do. And then I'll just relax for the rest of the day. Not that I have to, but now that I'm working every day, and I will be working every day this week, that if the sun comes out, I'm going to cut it down to 6-hour days, 4 to 6 hour days. Drilling and drilling. I was a drilling and drilling. 160 holes. That's a lot of holes. My little piece of wet tissue paper that saved my ears. That drill. I drilled 160 holes in 90 minutes. That's about 45 seconds per hole. I didn't mark anything. It doesn't need to be marked. But now, with with the holes every 2 inches, 2.5 inches. Now, if there's a handle, a shovel handle, with the D-shaped handle, I'll be able to put the shovel handle up there. If there's a rake, I can put a pin every 8 inches. And that secondary drill bit, that was bigger than the first drill bit. Oh, you know what? I should probably ream out those first holes. It'll be okay. I'll use the first set of holes, the ones that are smaller, up on the top of the board, because those are going to be for rakes and shovels. They're never going to move once I put them in the board. And then I'll, when I get the 2x2s mounted to the plywood, then I'll be mounting the plywood to the inside of the cargo container with a couple of self-tapping 2.5-inch self-tapping screws. I'll just drill it right through the side of the cargo container. I would probably only need 8, at most 8. Probably 4 would be more than enough. And then 4 of them, yeah, it's only going to be holding up 250 pounds. That'll be enough. And then, because to have all those shovels and rakes on the floor of the container, it's a mess. It's just a mess to do it like that. You axe on top of it, and then you put a pickaxe in there. Mein Happen. You put a pickaxe on top of that, and maybe another shovel or a garden rake, and before you know it, you want to get the thing that's on the bottom. Takes you 10 minutes, and you got to move 3 or 4 really sharp objects away from, you have to move the whole pile of sharp objects, because my rakes. Are you guapo? Guapo ka? Mein Happen. You have to move the whole pile. It takes a while to move the pile. It really does, And if you're working in a tight spot, it's just so much easier to have that stuff hanging on the wall. And then underneath the sheet, which is going to be 4 feet high, from the 8-foot to the 4-foot level, underneath that, I'll have stuff on the floor, and then I have 24 by 24 inch brackets, frames, that I'll put up against the side of the cargo container. So at 2 feet, I'll have a shelf if I want a shelf. And then that would give me 6 feet to the ceiling to hang up the rakes and the shovels, because no rake and no shovel has a 6-foot handle on it. It's like 5.5 feet is the most. Oh my God! You bastard! Oh, that hurt. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Oh God, that hurt. He just landed on me and started stinging me. He died. He died for his insolence. Oh, yeah, you dumb. I let them live normally, but not today. He had to go. I don't know. I got to put my glasses on. He was drilling. He was drilling it. He was drilling into my hand. I got one the other night, too. I guess it's something that has to do with the season. One came in the room the other night and got me about 2 weeks ago. No stinger. One came in the room the other night, and apparently I rolled over onto him, and his only way out was to give me a little sting. But he lived. I let him out the window. But this one, his insolence. He died for his his obstinance and insolence. Guwapo ka pod. Mayan hapon.
Anong pangalan mo?
What?
Anong pangalan mo?
What are you saying?
Speaking Tagalog.
Tagalog? No, dali, no, wala, no kasabot Tagalog. You kasabot Tagalog?
Ano yung Tagalog?
You?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
promise.
Tanuod ka? Tanuod? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guapo. Guapo.
What's your name, Michael? Are you vlogger?
I'm a blogger, yeah? You want to be in the blog?
No.
Well, it's too late now.
Michael, what's your name?
What's your name? Guapo ka?
Oh, guwapo ko.
Guapo ka? And what's your name? Guapo ka? And guapo ka?
His name, me, guwapo.
Guapo.
What's your name? Michael, Russell. Russell.
Yeah?
Bastel. My name is Bastel.
Justin?
What's your name, Michael? Bastel.
What's my name, Michael? Atik lang.
Michael Pasio.
Michael Fazio. Everybody knows my name. Like I said, everybody knows my name.
No big.
Did you guys go Langoy? Did you do Langoy today?
What?
Langoy? Swimming?
No.
Why?
It's so very
Bug now?
Oh, bugnaw kayo.
Okay. The water is cold, huh?
Sayo, oy.
Winter for you people.
Laking dagat, Michael. Ugo kayo, Jo. Ugo kayo ang dagat man.
I cannot hear you.
He's speaking Tagalog.
You're speaking Tagalog?
Yeah, I'm speaking.
Are you
This Tagalog. What's your...
hey, do you guys want to go back to school soon? Do you want to go to school soon?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, huh? You ready to go back to school?
Yes, yes. Dahil makinde.
You need to go to school. You gotta have education. You know that, right?
Magpulis ko.
This way when you okay. I'm gonna say umping. I have to go now. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so I have 5% battery. Yep, I have no battery. No battery. I think the battery oh boy, no battery. I don't know if you can hear me or see me, but yeah, I figured out why that yellow jacket stung me. Inside these bamboos are apparently there's a nest inside the bamboo, and I had my hand over the hole, so it took it as I was attacking its nest. All right, well, whatever.